everyone. Welcome back to the ISE Experience, a podcast created by the ISE ambassadors. I'm Jackson.
I'm Justin.
Hi, I'm Deniz.
So Deniz is joining us today. The funny thing is, Deniz actually used to be a host of the podcast too, but now she's on the other side of it, and she's here today to talk about her co-op that she completed last semester with GE Appliances, and you were doing that in Louisville, Kentucky, right?
Yes, I was.
Yeah, so we're thrilled to have Deniz here today to share her experience with everyone. So let's get right into it. So Deniz, could you state exactly the company department you worked with and what your official job title was?
So I was a supply chain intern at GE Appliances, but they get like 70 to 80 supply chain interns at one semester. So what you do really depends on who your assignment leader is. So my assignment leader was in direct sourcing, and he was a new product initiative purchasing program manager. So my title was new product initiative purchasing program manager co-op. Yeah, they call it MPI PPM. So I was an MPI PPM co-op.
So were you the only intern in that area?
Yes, I was the only intern in my office. So there's like 5 buildings. GE like headquarters is really big. They have their like own like zip code there. So whatever building your assignment leader is in, you're in that building and in that office.
Okay, gotcha. So how did you find out about this experience or opportunity?
One of my mentors in another student organization started working at GE Appliances in July.
Okay.
And she knew she was gonna go there. She did 2 co-op rotations, and she was here during the career showcase. She was like, "You should come talk to us," and I did go talk to them, and it worked out. So
yeah, it's nice being, involved in different organizations as a student. Really opens doors for you.
Yeah, it definitely worked out because the interviewers also knew her, so I could talk about her in my interview too, which broke the ice a little.
Yeah, it's definitely a connections game.
Yeah.
Finding opportunities and networking. So how much experience did you have prior to taking on the co-op, and do you think they helped in your role at all?
I only did 1 internship before this, and it was my freshman year spring semester at Gainesville Health and Fitness, and it was a business internship. So I wouldn't say that helped too much. I knew a little about more about how to communicate professionally. Maybe that was the only takeaway from that internship that I brought in here. But other than that, I didn't have any internship experience with it.
So a lot of those soft skills, basically.
Yes, and I learned a lot more in this one
Makes sense.
than before, yes.
Yeah, the GHF one is more soft skills, and then this one you'd say is more technically focused.
I would say both, because since I was a purchasing program manager intern, a lot of my responsibilities were talking to suppliers and talking to internal stakeholders and basically trying to put everybody on the same page so the project meets the deadline that they're launching the new product. So definitely a lot more soft skills than I thought. But yeah, some technical skills too.
Do you think any of the courses in the ISE curriculum helped you, and if so, what courses would those be?
Engineering economy actually helped.
Really?
Yeah, the Excel skills you learn in that class helped a lot. Also, some of the terms you learn in that also helped because I was also dealing with some budget issues too. Now I'm taking lean and facility planning, and some of the stuff we are learning in those classes, I learned them at the internship. So if I took these classes before I went to my co-op, probably would have helped too.
Yeah, that was the same with me in my internship. It was just like a lot of lean content that we're learning now, and I was like, well, I wish I would have taken this class last academic year.
Yeah.
That would have helped a lot, but at least now I feel like I got a head start in the class at least.
Yeah.
So do you want to go ahead and describe, I guess, the responsibilities that came along with the job?
So it was a lot of like initially just shadowing my assignment leader because most of his job is just going into meetings and talking to people and then deciding, who needs to know what information
Right.
and how to talk to each like stakeholder. So I was just sitting in meetings with him and seeing how he interacts with people. And after like the first month, he started giving me the responsibility of going to the meeting by myself with the supplier and just having that communication by myself and telling the supplier, you're only communicating with me from GE Appliances, not with my boss. Like, it's me who you need to call, and we are making this like relationship. So I would say a lot of soft skill responsibilities, and since it was a new product initiative job, they had their deadline like by Thanksgiving, so they were launching the project by then. So I came in like the last 3 months of it when they had been working on this thing for 2 years. So I was there at like the last crunch time. So a lot of like putting out fires because some suppliers didn't ship their stuff on time. So I was dealing with the suppliers about that and figuring out how we can make sure that they are sending us some supplies.
You yell at them.
Not yell, but be firm. And which was cool was like they had one supplier from Turkey and they were having an issue. So the supplier was like, can I just tell you in Turkish what my issue is and you can communicate it to them? I was like, sure, why not? So it worked out in the end too. Other than that, I did like design returnable trays for one of the parts of the product. So that was like saving the cost by this much instead of using boxes, and presented it to like the leadership team of the project. So I worked on that a lot. And then other than that was just like Excel tasks that my boss was giving me, saying, can you create like an analysis of these data showing which way we should go with which supplier.
So you mentioned that like after a month of shadowing, you eventually developed like a single point relationship with a client. Was that like daunting at all, and like how did you manage that like responsibility?
Yeah, it was a little bit, especially with the like suppliers taking me seriously part, because we were meeting in person. When you see me, it's very obvious I'm a college student. So at first they were like, hello, young lady. And I was like, hi. But after a while, like telling them, no, it's me, and like showing them I know what I'm talking about and what they need to do, they started respecting more. And then showing like, yes, this is what we are doing and why. And, the relationship went better after that. And they started like calling me saying, hey, we have an issue, can you help? And like my boss didn't even know after I fixed it. Yeah,
confidence is key.
Awesome.
If you
Yeah.
believe like what you're doing, then and show it, they'll believe you too.
Yeah, I definitely learned fake it till you make it
Yeah.
there.
Could you also talk a little bit more about what the second topic or thing you did in your co-op, the like tray of the appliance? Or
Yeah, so there was another person who had the same exact position as my assignment leader, but they didn't have an intern, so sometimes she would give me some responsibility too. And she was like, well, there's this side project that you can work on if you want. We are shipping like millions of this part for this unit because it goes on to every single unit, and sometimes there's 4 of them, sometimes there's 5 of them. And we are doing cardboard boxes, so we are spending a lot of money and just throwing them out too. So she was like, if you can design returnable trays that would fit more of these each parts, and also like that we can use them and not throw out, it's just an investment and we will save this much money after a while. So like in addition to my daily tasks, if I had downtime, I was designing the trays and trying to see like how much I can fit of each. And the parts I was dealing with were like very fragile and comes like on the surface, so they need to look good too. So I designed the trays and then showed it to her, and then the program leadership saying, this is like what I'm thinking, can we do prototypes? And worked with the supplier. He sent me the prototypes to ship test to see if the parts will come out, and they didn't, so it worked out very well. And it was like, I say, like, after it starts getting used, it was saving like around like 2 billion.
Oh, wow.
Like, so it was like a big project. I don't know if they put it into use,
Right.
but
But I mean, yeah, you came up with the plan.
not 2 billion, sorry, 2 million.
Oh,
My bad.
Okay. Still small, but
Yeah.
what software did you use to design it, and like were you unfamiliar with it, and how did you get equipped to learn it?
Oh, I designed it by hand on
Oh,
engineering
wow.
paper. I was like drawing and showing it to supplier. This is what I'm thinking. And then the supplier drew it in CAD and sent it to me. But mine was very old school.
Still useful, but
Yeah.
When you presented it to the leadership team, was that kind of scary at all? Or?
Oh, yeah, that was like one of the scariest things that I did there, yeah, because it was just like, if they don't believe there's value in what I'm presenting, then they were just going to say, no, we are not going to invest money in this.
Mhm.
So, and I like presented it towards the end of my internship, so I was like, I've been working on this for 3 months.
Yeah.
If
You
they
gotta
say
have
no,
results or-
yeah, if they say no, oh well.
Yeah.
It'd still be a good like learning experience though, but
Yeah.
it's good that they liked it. And yeah, so I'm guessing in your presentation you showed them exactly how much money they would be saving.
Yeah, there were some parts that like I missed, I guess, calculating like other costs.
Mhm.
So there was like less money getting saved than I thought, but there was still like a good amount that they were like, oh, okay, yeah, we can do this. It's also helped with the sustainability part of it, so
Right.
they liked that side of it too.
So did you what type of financial or budget analysis did you have to do in relation to that project?
It was more like calculating how much we are spending in a year for each cardboard box and the transportation cost for it, and then calculating how much we need to spend for the prototype of the stuff I'm designing than the actual part of it, because you know they need to do the molding and stuff, which I'm learning in Lean again right now. And then after that, the transportation cost, because they are sending the trays back and forth, so that adds a little more.
So switching gears a little,
Mhm.
Louisville, Kentucky. It's
Yep.
kind of a obscure city. I feel like a lot of students that like go to UF or are from Florida like probably maybe haven't been there and it's unfamiliar to them. So how was that? Like adjusting to living there for a few months, and did you like it or
Yeah.
how was it?
It was pretty good. It was much better than I expected. I was expecting more like middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
like Kentucky. Not like that. It was like a pretty big city. They have their like big downtown. They have a lot of good food. Apparently, that's one of the things they're very proud of. A lot of people move there apparently and bring different cuisines. So it was really good. Also, I was living with 3 other interns. 2 of them were from UF.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it was fun just being together.
Were they ICs?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So we became really good friends. One of them is in 2 of my classes right now. So I gained really good friends too, which worked out very well. Yeah, the GE Appliances has like a different internship program than most companies do, I think, since there's 100 of us there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a student organization in the intern group, where they have like the community service committee, social committee, this committee. So they choose chairs at the beginning and they organize their side intern events on top of like the work time. So they give you a lot of opportunities to make friends, and while you are living with 3 other interns, you also become friends with them. So it was fun just exploring. And since I was there in fall, there was a lot of like festive activities. They had like a pumpkin patch walkthrough thing that we went to, and like a lot of Christmas stuff. So I have fun. It was actually much better than I expected.
Yeah, it's definitely nice and like a good benefit from like an internship or co-op, especially a different city when they have like that community and like a lot of other interns. Because my internship over the summer was only like 10 other interns, and we had like one luncheon at the end of the summer, and like I didn't. It was like my first time meeting all of them. So
yeah, they're much better about it. It's also a lot of people relocate since it's either fall or spring semester. Usually the summer interns are returners.
Right.
So if you're a first timer, you are doing a co-op. So they like provide housing too. So it gives you incentive to go there instead of going to school. So a lot of people were from like all around US. We weren't the only ones that were that far away from there.
Cool. Did this experience influence what you might want to do like in the future after graduation, or like what field you'd want to work in?
Yeah, I think I really liked working in supply chain. Maybe sourcing, maybe not. Like I liked sourcing, but I don't want to just do sourcing just because I had a really good experience at once. I did learn that I want to do a desk job instead of like being in the manufacturing floor. Yeah, that GE Appliances environment is very like manufacturing floor kind of environment. Mine was a desk job, but if I walked out of the office, I could hear the presses like pressing down. So I realized that. I think I want a more like a corporate job.
I guess what made you realize that? Because a big focus in IE is that like manufacturing side. So I guess what aspect of the manufacturing side of the job that you didn't entirely like, or?
It was very loud.
No.
So and like there was a lot going on at once. So I like that I can see like going to the factory, see what I'm doing is how it's impacted. So I'm glad I had that experience, but now that I kind of know how it works, like I don't necessarily want to be on the manufacturing floor. So I liked what I was doing because I was in the office, but I could go see it. But whenever I walked into the plant, I was like, I don't necessarily want to be on the manufacturing floor right now.
It's also pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Very, very like overwhelming. Because I remember when I was like down on the manufacturing floor, it's like very easy to slip or something like that.
Yeah, they train you a lot. There are signs everywhere. So
still, like machines don't know if you're there. Like they won't stop or anything. Yeah, it's definitely nice, like having those experiences before you graduate. Like you learn what you like, but you also learn like what you dislike, which I think is really important.
And like one of my roommates, she had a desk job too, but she was like, I realized I actually want to be on the manufacturing floor. She's one of the industrials that are at UF, so she was like, I'm gonna do an internship where I can be on the manufacturing floor next time. So it just depends on your personality, I guess.
That's what's nice about ISE, versatile.
Yep.
So are you looking to return back in the summer? Or?
No, I'm actually going to another company for summer internship.
Yeah, different opportunities, different experiences.
Yeah, I figured like this is gonna be the last internship before I graduate, so I wanted to see like a different kind of product supply chain and understand better different sides of supply chain before I decide what kind of industry or supply chain I want to go. Basically.
That's awesome. What advice do you have for students that might want to look into a similar role?
I would say be confident. Don't be too shy. Definitely ask people to be your mentors when you're at an internship. I gained a lot of good mentors that I'm still in like contact with. Because if you go ask somebody to be your mentor, they're not gonna say no. It's really like nice on their side too that somebody's coming up to them and asking to be their mentor. So don't be shy, make connections, but stay in touch with them too. Everybody there told me that they were working there for the people. And like that's like a good environment. So I received a lot of good advice about how to choose where you want to work with. Not necessarily like, oh, this company gives me really good benefits, I'm going to go there. But more like you see these people maybe more than your family because you are there 8 hours a day the whole week. So you need to like the people you are working with to not hate your job. So I guess like be careful about how the company culture is and observe those and decide what you like and what you don't like in company atmospheres when you are doing your internship to learn like what you want in the future.
Yeah, that's really good advice because I guess there's a lot of the jobs on paper like sound the same. Like you can do a lot of the same things in a lot of different jobs, but the company culture like makes or breaks your experience there. So really good advice.
Yeah, agreed. Do you have any other additional questions?
No. Okay.
I just had, where's your summer internship gonna be?
It's with PepsiCo in Chicago.
Oh wow.
So
Bigger city.
yeah, bigger city.
Windy city.
Yeah, bigger city, windy city, and it's like they don't have their manufacturing plant there, so it's more like the headquarters there. I think they have 3 headquarters. It's one of them. So just like the big building, desk job. So I'm gonna try to see. Yeah, it's actually what I want or not. So I'm trying it out.
Very cool.
Yeah, I know Pepsi's another company that I think is really renowned for their good culture and ethics and people. So
yeah, well, I'll keep you
exciting.
updated after summer.
Well, hopefully we'll be back and we can record and talk about that. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Very valuable insights into a co-op experience that I'm sure like some other UF students would be interested in as they're here. Most of the career fairs and showcases. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks for listening.